Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
You know, this is the issue of jurisdiction. Jurisdiction means what government can do. Now you got federal police. They don't use warrants anymore. They taser you if you talk back. They have internal checkpoints. In fact, Google this. They have federal maps, Constitution-free zone. Show folks the national map. The ACLU is actually accurate on this. They have a good map of it. And people are driving to work and stuff, and they're sick of this. Every day they pull in and they go, we want to search you. But then I covered CNN earlier in the show where the illegal aliens, they have fake raids. They have fake raids of the illegal aliens, and pull that CNN up for people. They have these fake raids and then take them to give them their green card after they have the staged raids for people watching United States television. Here it is, CNN. Illegal immigrants detained, then freed to work. And in this article admits they then take them and fill out their green cards and everything for them. So, and I've talked to Austin cops. They arrest a citizen without driver's license, drunk driving, without insurance. They arrest you. The illegal aliens, they let them go. This happened one night. One of my guys had an expired driver's license. I saw him pulled over in front of the office. He pulled in the office. They thought that was suspicious, pulling into the office at night at like 8 at night. I pull up. He's in handcuffs being put in a car. I come up and they go, hey, Alice, we like the show. Yeah, we don't arrest illegals because the judges get mad. They just let them go. But citizens, yeah, we're told take them in. So he pulls up to this federal checkpoint. They have these things, again, in some cases over 100 miles in. Like before my grandfather died, he got real mad. He was driving around in the hill country, visiting his sister once. And Border Patrol pulls him over. This is outside Austin, 200 and something miles from the border, and asks him if he was a U.S. citizen. So, again, it's their excuse to harass citizens, nobody else. And we have I'm going to finish your story of the TSA. Secret police interrogating you about your camera, what's your film, trying to break the camera, laughing about it. They literally, I've seen them with good-looking women. They just start grabbing, and it's all part of a ritual of service to them. I dominate you. I urinate on you. It's like a dog hiking its leg, and this is what tyranny is. It's just all these do-nothing scum ruling us, and then all the big criminals on top. But I wanted to go to Pastor Stephen L. Anderson that this happened to. Mr. Anderson, it's good to have you here with us.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Okay, finish up because we just played some of the clip. And a lot of people are doing this. I'm sure you've now noticed the videos are all over online, all over the country in Washington State and Vermont and Minnesota. People will be 100 miles in, 50 miles in. They're trying to drive to work. You got to drive through a checkpoint. They want to search you. They want you to answer questions. People get sick of it. This isn't Nazi Germany. That happened to you. You question them and tell folks what happened.
Well, do you want me to just start at the beginning and go through the whole story? Or do you want me to just tell the critical part about where they actually started to beat me and attack me?
Tell the critical part, and now since this happened a week ago, I'm sure you know there's probably 1 million views or more of all the versions of the video up on the web. What type of response you've seen from this?
Well, let me take you to the most critical point. We basically had a standoff for about 75 minutes of just going back and forth. They wanted to search my car without a warrant. They wanted to interrogate me. I refused to answer questions, and I would not allow them to search my car without a warrant. Well, finally, the DPS, that was the Border Patrol at this internal checkpoint that's about 50 miles north of Mexico on an east-west highway. Well, then the DPS shows up, which is the Arizona Highway Patrol, and they come up and they're going to take me out of the car so that they can get in and search this car.
Now you were explaining to them that this was a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Absolutely, repeatedly. And so they basically tricked me into thinking that they were just going to knock out the passenger window, which I'm thinking to myself, okay, a couple $100 for a new window.
No, they were going to punish you. They were going to punish you, but go ahead.
Right. I'm thinking to myself, couple $100, but you know what? I'm not going to back down here because, this is the rights of every American at stake. You give them a finger, they take the whole hand. You give them an inch, they take a mile. So I'm sitting there, and then the Border Patrol agents are crowded around my car to the left of me, and, they've already been trying to intimidate me for the last hour and 15 minutes, but they told me, they said, cover your eyes because there's going to be broken glass. So I go ahead and put my hands over my eyes, put my face down in my lap, hardly a good position to be in when you get attacked, but I've got my eyes covered. I'm bent down. And not only did the passenger window break, but the driver's side window a few inches from my head broke simultaneously out of nowhere.
Now, Pastor, you made a key point, though. You made a key point in psych warfare they teach them. Before they invaded Panama, for 6 months, they would land the helicopters, take off to acclimate. That's what the knocking with the hammer was.
Right, on the passenger window, exactly.
So that you just got acclimated to the knocking of the hammer. It's all animal training. We're all seen as animals, and the cops are manipulated with basic animal psychology themselves in their own gang grid. So it's all brainwashing. And then there's the lie of cover your eyes, we care about you. That's really just so they see where your hands are in case you've got a weapon. Then they taser, then there's the other pleasure taser, the added Satanism enjoyment, and then there's the stomping on the head and everything else. But go ahead.
And let me emphasize this. The electricity never stopped throughout this encounter, because when they hit you with that 50,000 volt X26 taser, which I read that model number off of one of the tasers that I saw, you know, when they hit you with that, there's these two little metal probes that go into your flesh, and there are wires, and what happens is when they do that, they can just keep pulling the trigger in order to extend the length of it. So they can keep you electrified for as long as they want.
Well, that's why so many people die, because this sadistic enjoyment, you see the cops' faces when, when they test it for the public, it's just a little jolt when they show it to themselves, but when they hit you with like the "don't tase me, bro," and they go, "No, you're going to get punished. You're going to get tortured," it just goes on and on and on, and you see them going, "Oh, God, I hate America. Oh, this feels so good."
Well, I used to be really disturbed by that "don't tase me, bro" video, but it seemed pretty mild the other day when I watched it, because, I mean, this went on and on. So here I am I had my eyes covered. I'm not fighting back. I haven't lifted a finger, haven't threatened anything. I'm just sitting there. They say cover my eyes, I cover my eyes.
Were they cussing at you and having little victories against freedom, little hoots and noises, or was it silent?
You mean from the offices? I don't know. All I heard was my own screaming. That's all I could hear. You know what I mean? So here I am, just tased, and you're totally paralyzed when you're tased anyway. So I'm being electrified here. Glass flew at me from both sides. Next thing I know, a hand comes from the left and just shoves my head into the broken glass that was just busted out of the window. So I could feel that glass just shoving into my scalp, and my face was just jammed against the door with that glass. And that's what the wounds to my head are. It's from when the agent shoved my head into that broken glass on the door and just held it there while the electricity never stopped. A little bit of time went by. It's hard for me to measure the time. But the door then is opened, the driver's side door. I fall out onto the ground, and a Border Patrol agent steps on my head with what felt like all his weight. And again, the electricity is never stopping throughout all of this, okay? And I'm just laying there screaming for mercy with somebody standing on my head. And it's funny because when I was in high school, we had to read a book, required reading, 1984 by George Orwell. While I'm laying there with this guy stepping on my head, a quote from the book just randomly pops into my mind. And this is when the evil government guy is torturing the main character. He said, if you want a vision of the future, just imagine a boot stamping upon a human face forever. And I remembered that quote popped into my mind. Yeah,
that's O'Brien. That's O'Brien.
Right. And while I'm laying there with somebody standing on my head, the electricity's not stopping, the glass is still, shoving into my head from being stepped on. And while I'm laying there, I'm just thinking to myself, what do I have to do to get these people to stop? Don't they see I'm not resisting? And I'm just thinking, do they want me to scream? Do they want me to be silent? What are they looking for? Just what do I have to do to get them to stop torturing me?
No. What else does O'Brien say to Winston when they're torturing him and electrocuting him? They said, Winston, this is about destroying humanity. Always trampling over people, stomping on people, controlling them. We're the priest of power. We like to hurt people and hurt each other. That's the whole object of this, Winston. So what mattered was, and these guys have a nose for this. If you're a drug dealer or scum, they let you go. And I've seen it. But especially because you're a King James Version pastor, know about the corruption. It's a spiritual thing. And I have seen the video of these guys. It's a lot of these guys are on the drug take, especially the ones at the drug checkpoints. These are all the pot-bellied ones. We'll be right back.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
So you're there, they're jumping on you, tasering you, they're having an enjoyment. How does this end? You end up going to jail. They always, in my experience, charge you with something. It's not enough to attack you with deadly weapons. There's also got to be a false charge. Has that happened? Boil it down for us.
Yes, two misdemeanors, and these are really laughable. Number one, I was charged with obstructing a public highway. Because of the fact that I did not allow them to search me, that caused this encounter to take so long that they're blaming me for that lane, being obstructed.
And they say that in all the videos where the guy goes, "You pull me over every day, Bill. You know I'm a U.S. citizen. Pull over. Got to search you." And I saw this on ferries. And I'm not saying Muslims are bad or terrorists, but I will never go back down to Bolivar again.